Meanwhile, General Asim Munir has gifted Prime Minister of Pakistan Shehbaz Sharif a portrait, a photograph in fact. This photograph, which we'll put out on your screens in just a moment from now. Viewers, let me in fact show you the photograph here first. Can we take this on our screens? So this is a photograph which Asim Munir was seen gifting the Prime Minister of Pakistan Shehbaz Sharif. This seems like the event where Asim Munir promoted himself to the rank of Field Marshal. And this is an image which reads Operation Bunyan Marsus. However, what's written under it, I'm not exactly being able to tell, but it does say something of the Regiment of Pakistan Artillery. So this is a photograph that has now been gifted by Asim Munir to the Prime Minister of Pakistan. This, viewers, Asim Munir claims reflects Pakistan's victory in the recent clash with India. The photo was captioned after Pakistan's Operation Bunyan Marsus. However, once again, a quick Google search took us here. This is an article dated from the 20th of August 2019, posted by the Ministry of National Defense of China, close aid of Pakistan, saying artillery battery fires rockets at night. And here are the images. PHL-03 long-range multiple launch rocket systems attached to an artillery battery under the PLA's 74th Group Army have fired rockets at simulate target during a night raid exercise in an undisclosed desert area of northwest China at 4 o'clock in the morning of 18th August 2019. Multiple such photographs of the same Chinese military drills have been released. Look at this. Have a look at this photograph. Then there's another photograph that has been released, and another photograph of, in fact, female soldiers who were assigned to dock the rockets for this particular drill. Interestingly, this image, viewers, it seems looks very close to the image that I just showed you. In fact, if we were to just put them together side by side, you would actually probably think that maybe this was not entirely an image that was released. This is the image on the right sides of your screens that was released by China. Okay, and the image on the left sides of your screens is what has been gifted by Asim Munir. Now, you may say that this is not the exact same photo, and yes, you're right, it's not the exact same photo. What's interesting here is that it seems as though someone has taken this particular aspect of the photograph, which I'm showing you circling through my mouse. This aspect of the photograph has been taken and then just copy pasted multiple times to create 3 simultaneous rocket launches, which have absolutely zero difference as far as the fire is concerned, as far as the rocket launch position is concerned. And we do have, viewers, some of our military experts, former Ambassador Joyita Basu joining me, Ambassador Bhaswati Mukherjee with us, Sumit Peer with us as well, and defense experts joining us as well, who will help us now understand whether what we're showing is actually true, or is this India once again just making this up. Ambassador Mukherjee, before I come to you, ma'am, I just want to get in a word from Major Sudhakarji. Major Sudhakarji, we've put out the 2 photographs side by side, and I want to understand from your perspective, as I just tried to explain. The photograph gifted by Asim Munir sir is a spitting replica of a Chinese military drill that was conducted in 2019. However, it's not the exact same photograph. It seems as though there has been some use of Photoshop or artificial intelligence. They've taken the missile and its base, and it seems as though the same has just been copy pasted to create 3 missile launches instead of 1, which is there in the original photograph. The reason why I ask you to chip in first is it possible, if there were 3 rocket launches happening simultaneously, for them to give off the exact same look and feel entirely in terms of the fire that is coming out of those missiles? It's the exact same. Is that something that happens, sir? That if I'm launching, say, 2 of the same missiles, exact same missiles, then they would give off, in a way, the same amount of fire and in the same trajectory?
Good morning, Devika. Thank you for getting me to your show, and my best wishes to the very distinguished and esteemed panelists, co-panelists. Morning, you are aware where I'm speaking from. So it's early morning here. And as regards the question which you have raised, simple cryptic answer from my side is that I can't see, incidentally, what you are showing through your monitor or projection system. It is not visible on my laptop, being around 18,000 kilometers away from your location. Maybe some technical glitch, but I can visualize. The answer is it is a AI manipulated or AI developed picture. From the narrative that you have explained, it is simply not possible to have lookalike or parallel kind of pictures depicting the similar theme. Having said that, more meaningful and substantive than the description which you have given is, I feel, if there is some symbolism. Yes, it is quite customary whenever an army officer of any army, of any democracy getting promoted to field marshal rank, he is expected, as per the military norm, to invite the people's representative head for a dinner, for a meal, and alongside or after the meal is over, some kind of a souvenir is presented. But to gift a painting of this nature actually is very ridiculous. At the place where I am, there are people talking about the same, and I believe they're making a mockery in Pakistan itself. And there are many unfounded and unrelated assumptions which are being made. But suffice to say that it is a picture which actually represents launch of a missile in the exercise which was conducted with China way back in 2019. This is what my friends here, they have confirmed. It may be wrong, it may be right. At the moment, I do not have any means and methods to verify. Second point I wish to highlight is why this picture? Because the picture is trying to indicate, besides the symbolism, is that everything that Pakistan does since quite a few years back has got the blessings of a friend, an ally, and a partner, strategic partner, which is the relationship of which is higher than the Everest and deeper than the ocean. But will this stand in good state in times ahead is something which the time is going to say. And third and last thing is that behind the symbolism, also there is an intimidation intent which is being projected to us, that is India, that behind the field marshal rank and honorary status, there lies a very sinister, very, very grave design. Maybe in foreseeable future, it may take some time. At the moment, he is busy handling, consolidating the internal instability. And what I am hearing here, again subject to verification, is that there is a serious radiation which is taking place around Kirana Hills. There is a serious evacuation of people which is underway. There is also, reportedly, I am not very sure, they're trying to relocate the warheads, nuclear warheads, to safer places. So how much is this true is a matter which you people sitting in the subcontinent could possibly keep in the back of your mind and analyze and put things in the perspective. Back to you, Devi.
All right, Ambassador Mukherjee, bringing you into the conversation. Ambassador Mukherjee, I want to then understand from your perspective, ma'am, is this merely symbolism, or is this Pakistan once again going ahead with a foolish gesture, which they perhaps thought that the world will never see this photograph, or that this photograph will never reach fact checkers and we'll never know? But why do you think, after everything that has happened, Pakistan would choose to once again go down this route of making a mockery of itself?
Because, Devika, the Pakistani army specializes in winning in politics and losing all the wars. The Pakistani army chief clearly specializes in wearing colonial era uniforms. It reminds me of the kind of military uniforms which were worn by the Austrians and the Germans during World War I and II. He is a defeated army chief who has promoted himself to the rank of field marshal. This photograph also demonstrates that they think that other people in Pakistan and outside have the same IQ level as they have. They have been heavily trolled inside Pakistan social media for this photograph. Pakistanis are making fun of them. And actually, I am really disappointed in the Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, who I thought was a much more sensible person than the army chief, like his brother. But it would appear to me that he has gone down to the same level. Moreover, what is this whole operation about? There was no such operation. They have not won any war. My only regret, as I have voiced here earlier also, is that we agreed to a ceasefire too soon. We should have given our armed forces another 3 days and finished off what was required to be finished off. Now my regret is that we will have to do it the next time we do a strike. We will have to finish off the unfinished work. And apart from that, this photoshopping of a photo in this manner also shows that they don't have anything to show on their own. So they have to fall back, even for photoshopping images, they have to fall back, as you rightly said, on their best friend, the Chinese, and now their second best friend, probably Turkey. These are the two friends they have, reliable friends, China and Turkey, and that's what they have to do. But I really feel sorry that they have to make such fools of themselves, even within their own country, and globally. This when it becomes public, it's just descending on social media. They are going to be trolled heavily by a huge number of people, including people within Pakistan, and of course the Baluchis have taken this to town on their social media. And I think that this is such a ridiculous photo that it's not worth talking about. I can't imagine anyone in our armed forces ever either dressed like a clown, like this man is dressed like a colonial era clown, a so-called field marshal, etc. Somebody asked me, Devika, that what defines a field marshal? So on another channel. So I said a field marshal is one who has commanded 2 armies. So they asked me, Devika, so which 2 armies has this field marshal commanded? I said, well, he's commanded the Pakistani army and the Baluchi army, because Baluchistan is going to get independence. So then it's very clear he's a field marshal because he has commanded the Pakistani and Baluchi army. Devika.
Absolutely. Joyita Basu, bringing you into the conversation as well. I want to understand from your perspective, Joyita, what do you make of some of these photographs now being released and coming into, of course, all of us being able to just see it coming out for public consumption? What exactly do you think a Shehbaz Sharif and an Asim Munir were thinking when they decided to present this? Because this adds to a series of lies that Pakistan has been spreading. And are the people of Pakistan somewhere not realizing what their politicians and their military is up to?
Well, the thing is, you see, this is a copy-paste image, as you mentioned. It's basically what they have done, taken the same gun and pasted it 3 times, I mean pasted it 2 more times. As a result of it, forget about AI, this is basic Photoshop technique, and I am certain if one of their generals must have said put another, if they had more space they would have put a 4th gun as well. So, this is what happens, this is a complete concoction, this is a complete imagination, it is fiction basically. So, what exactly is the war that they think they have won? I mean that also, the outcome of that war also, at least the message they have sent out to their people is that this war they have won. That is also a concoction, that is also a fiction. And as it happens, you see, the sole reason they have done it is that they want to perpetuate army hold over Pakistan, and what we have been witnessing, lot of unhappiness has been happening towards, and anger has been directed towards the Pakistan army. But if you look at the latest some poll by something called Gallup Pakistan has taken a poll where it says if the army's reputation was maybe about 5% or something 10%, now it is something like 90% out of 100. So, you see, if that is indeed true, then the Pakistan army has been able to feed a lot of nonsense to its people, and they have been able to make them, turn them into heroes, and that is why this constant harping on we have defeated India, we have defeated India. If you go to X in particular or any other social media or YouTube, and the thing is, you see, I myself have done a video on these Pakistanis, and suddenly I see them coming all over my YouTube video, and they are talking about in terms of how we have defeated you, how we have defeated you, you guys are the losers, we downed you, we thrashed you. You go to whoever's account is still not blocked on X, that is all they are talking about. There is a huge, I would say, concerted effort that is going on to promote the Pakistan army as the winner, where this Aurangzeb, that PAF head, Pakistan Air Force head, now girls want to, okay, they are idolizing him as if he is Shah Rukh Khan or one of the movie heroes. So, you see, this is what the army's purpose is, and they have to constantly keep up this fiction, and that is in keeping with this, but in the process they forget that they are living in the modern world. See, either they are talking in terms of, you will find it on social media, or they are concocting images where they have taken Chinese images, and that is what mostly they have done, and they have placed, even when it comes to the navy, they have placed a destroyer there in the water. Here they have put 2 extra guns over here and taking a Chinese image. Well, if Pakistani people are willing to be gulled by their generals, they will be. Okay? If you, at least if you go to social media, the kind of stuff they are still talking about is how Pakistani hackers downed 70% of the power grid of India, India's power grid. Nothing like that happened. They talked about drones flying over New Delhi. I mean, that was so much utter garbage. I mean, I saw this joke on X that says, yeah, all the drones now Mr. Gadkari has caught because they were flying over national, that expressway, and now he's charging tolls from them. Okay, and you see, this is the kind of garbage that they are talking, and the people are falling for it. That shows the mentality of the people, how ignorant they are, and how easily they can be gulled, they can be fooled, and that is what exactly the Pakistani generals are doing, Pakistani Shehbaz Sharif is doing. It is a different matter, the world is more connected now, and you just have to do a reverse search and you will find where that image is from.
Right. Sumit, I want to bring you into the conversation here. Sumit, then I want to understand from you, who are the likes of Asim Munir and Shehbaz Sharif really trying to convince, and who are they putting on this show for? They could have just, they declared, Shehbaz Sharif is, declared victory against India after they broke the ceasefire, and he gave his victory speech and everything was quiet. They could have just moved on and gone on with their lives, but it seems as though they want to continue coming up with reasons to talk about their strikes against India and their victory against India. Do you feel that somewhere a stage is being set up for some sort of a larger plan, that this is not something that they're simply doing to convince the people of Pakistan, but a stage is being set possibly for an Asim Munir to move on from the rank even of field marshal to something that military generals in Pakistan have always eyed, which is the ultimate seat of power?
Devika ji, thank you very much for having me on your show. Let me try to put it in a logical perspective. The first thing and the most logical thing is that I've been looking at this picture. It's not AI generated, it is Photoshop and it is Canva. So these are the two softwares which have been used. So let's put the thing clear. The gun which is being depicted here is a SH-15. It's a Chinese gun which China uses, though Pakistan has the gun. But the problem with the gun is it's a shoot and scoot gun. So you cannot have perfectly 3 guns shooting at the same time and exactly looking the same, because that is not the nature of the gun. That is how not the weapon is designed. So 101% sure Photoshop and Canva used. Now let's talk about Asim Munir. Asim Munir is a general who believes in JPEG more than jets. From so JPEGs are is a much of a spend than jets. Now from a general he has become a graphic editor, and ISPR was India's Pito Rose. Now I used to call it in English international supplier of this propaganda and rants. I have changed my terminology. International supplier of parody and rant. So they have graduated to parody. That's what is happening here. So this is a forge which lives on fakery ki bakery. ISPR is nothing but is a factory of memes. They produce memes. That is what they do. And what you are seeing right now, they are trying to say that, look, we have really won this operation, and this is a testimony to how blazing the Pakistan's gun power was. This Operation Masood, whatever it is, these are very funny Urdu names they do, but when I looked into the meaning of it, it says the unified force of Allah. But the problem is, the fact remains, which I'm quoting on record, you launched this operation saying that within 48 will decimate India, and India's strike capability will decimate all the air bases of India. You launched it. And within 8 hours, it is now officially within 8 hours, you had to call it back because India decimated you. So when that force of Allah and the unified mission of Allah got defeated or decimated in 8 hours by Pakistan, so what do? The only thing they come up with a Photoshop image and they try to show what the field marshal has done. This field marshal is a mockery. He's a joker. He's a Chinese puppet. He exactly do what China tells him to do. But the biggest problem we have is that China's interest, China's legacy, China's aura, everything about China is hurt. They will need today a Fidaiin general. He's a Fidaiin general. He is a Osama bin Laden in a uniform. That is what he is. And he has that Fidaiin mentality. He's not a general. He's a mullah in a uniform. And this man is exactly what China needs to have its missions against India fulfilled without getting their hands dirty. That is what this man will do. And as far as why they are trying to pose this, and as far as why they are trying to show this to the world, they are trying to show, look, we were not defeated by the Indian army. We were winning because who is with Pakistan? China was with them. Turkey was with them, Azerbaijan was with them, and possibly Iran was with them. Imagine all this group of people being defeated by Indian army in 2.5 hours. Imagine their all air bases gone out. Imagine 45% of their air power is not usable. Imagine by the end of June they will have their air bases operation. Imagine their nuclear command and control is cracked. It is complete 101% sure it's cracked. We have not decimated anything, but it is cracked. Imagine those radiation leaks happening. Imagine boron C-130s. How many F-16s they lost? How many JF-17s they lost? And imagine 17 PL-15s were fired and none of them hit the target. And our Akash did 100% interception of every target. When these things became common, and especially when we sent our MPs across the world, and when our DGMO military operations does a briefing to the 70 countries in Delhi, 70 military attaches ko bula ke aap briefing karte ho. You call 70 military attaches and give them briefing with all the proofs. They are like the people who are there are the stature of General Sudhakarji and people like him who understand military. When these things are out in the open, so what does the Mullah military brigade do? They come up with a photoshopped Canva image. One joker gives to another. They take a picture and say, "Dekho ji, inshallah hum jeet gaye." I mean, Devika ji, if there were no broadcast, swear to God, imagine there is no broadcast, Pakistan would have won all the World Cups so far. Because how will they know? They will get a replica somewhere bolenge inshallah jeet gaye. It's because of TV and broadcast. They now today we know they did not win a World Cup. Otherwise they will win all the World Cup. Like they have won all the wars. They have won all the wars. Even 71 they have won. Even recently Operation Sindoor where 91 they have won, 65 they have won. They have won everything. It's such a system. Ask Munir, Mullah Munir, Where did you get all your medals from? Which war did you win? What is your act of valor? What did you do? You killed Balochis, 7,000 Balochis. You killed their women and children. You killed Hazaras. You killed Ahmadiyas. You killed Shias. You slaughter a journalist in front of his family. You have 7,000 people missing in Balochistan officially, and you use helicopter gunships to slaughter on your own people. That is what you have done. You have lost from Ayub Khan to Mullah Munir. You lose Siachen. You lose Bangladesh. You lose Kargil. Now you are going to lose the entire Pakistan, and there is a precedence. First you become field marshal, then becomes the martial law. Ayub also became field marshal, and from field marshal there was martial law. So Munir is one step closer to becoming the new marshal or the marshal of Pakistan. And Shehbaz Sharif, jab tak naukri chal rahi hai, tab tak photo khicha raha. That is the reality of Shehbaz Sharif. He's just kind of a picture to keep him happy. Bhai kuch din aur naukri pe reh rahe, so after all you're going to take over. And that is what is going to happen in Pakistan. It's a very clear message. What is going to happen, who is going to take over Pakistan, and how China's nefarious designs are there, and how we as Bharat defeated Pakistan, China, Turkey, Azerbaijan, and possibly Iran together. And out of these two, there are two nuclear powers. Ek nahi hai, Pakistan plus China. We got all of them whacked. That is the thought they cannot fathom. That is the thought which is baffling their minds. And that is why we see this crazy circus of absurd. This is crazy circus of absurd, Devika ji.
Okay, all right. That's all the time that I have, but I thank all of our panelists for joining us to take the conversation forward. With that, viewers, a very short break.